Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am. Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've listened with great interest today, and here's what I hear you saying. The four folks to my left, I hear you saying that digital assets are different. Digital assets hold great promise. Digital assets need special rules. I agree with that. The obvious question is, what should those rules be, and to what extent should we allow you to draft them? I've also heard some of you say that digital assets represent the next generation of the internet. Well, we let the current generation of the internet draft their own rules, and frankly, it looks like what we got as a result looks like somebody knocked over a urine sample. Congress can't even agree on basic legislation dealing with privacy on the internet. How the hell are we going to tackle this? But I hear what you're saying. I hear Mr. Painter, as usual, if you follow him on social media, you know, all politicians are crooks. Very helpful. I want to direct most of my questions to Professor Massad. Is that how you say your name?
Massad.
Mr. Massad. I'm really worried we're going to get this wrong. We don't know, we in Congress and our staffs don't know as much as the professionals in digital assets know. And I don't see how we can possibly catch up. Tell me more about your idea of having the SEC. Well, first, I don't want to run out of time here, but why is the digital assets industry so scared of being regulated by the SEC?
Well, I think we need to step back, Senator.
Briefly, please.
They don't want everything treated as a security because they don't want that entire framework to apply. But that's also because the SEC did fail to try to customize its rules to adapt for this technology, and it should do that. And you've got leadership at the agencies now who are working on those things.
You're suggesting that we turn to two of our agencies, one of which is the SEC, and say, you have expertise. Before we take a crack at a bill, you come up with a bill with rules, with regulations. Tell us how to do this. Because I hear you saying in some cases digital assets are commodities. In some cases, they're securities.
Congress needs to fill the gap, which is if it's not a security, who's going to create a regulatory framework for it? So you do need to fill that. But these questions about exactly which is when is it a security, when is it not a security, how do we customize the rules, what should we do about DeFi, a lot of that should really be left to the agencies. You could establish some principles, but I wouldn't write detailed rules.
Have you looked, Professor, at Congressman Hill's legislation?
I have in detail.
What do you think?
I think it's got a lot of problems. I think it's 236 pages of regulatory arbitrage opportunities for creative lawyers, and I used to be one that did that kind of stuff.
Made a lot of money, did you?
I did, but...
Mr. Painter, do you think Senator Gillibrand is a crook?
No, and I do not think all politicians are crooks. And
why did you call her a crook?
I did not call her a crook. Now, Senator, you need to focus on this bill. Right, you're doing this again. You did it the last hearing. You need to read the bill.
Role in stablecoin regulation, $217,000 in crypto donations. You tweeted that.
Yes, I do.
And then you said, the crypto industry is buying Congress and the White House. This won't end well. Why do you think the crypto industry is buying Senator Gillibrand?
I said, look at the campaign contributions from this industry.
Do you think they've bought her?
No, I said, look at the campaign
you
contributions.
You said they bought her. Do you think they bought her?
Senator, you need to focus on this bill instead of trying to distort my Twitter.
Last time, one of my
you
colleagues
were quoting what a Marxist in Chicago said about
And what evidence do you have that she's a crook?
I said there is massive amount of campaign contributions coming into this Congress from the crypto industry.
Do you want to apologize to Senator Gillibrand?
I do not want you to have to apologize for passing legislation
that
destroys our economy.
For calling
you are distorting what I said, just like you did in the last hearing. You're wasting everybody's time, Senator.
You're a whack job.
Senator,
you are wasting.
Well, I think we are
next level whack job.
I think we are.
Is this middle school, Senator?
Senators and witness. Thank you both.
I think you should apologize, Senator.
I think, Senator, you're wasting our time. This is not middle school.
Thank you for your participation. I will say that Senator Smith is next. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. So, not so long ago,
During a congressional hearing, a lawmaker from South Carolina raised concerns about Europe's expanding digital speech laws and their global impact on free expression. The discussion focused on the EU's Digital Services Act and the UK's Online Safety Act, questioning whether these laws apply beyond Europe's borders. Witnesses acknowledged that while the laws were not originally designed to be extraterritorial, their vague language has allowed them to function that way in practice. Lawmakers referenced previous testimony warning of a two-tier system of justice in Europe, where online speech, particularly criticism of government policies on migration, is disproportionately targeted. One example cited was the phrase, "We need to take our country back," which has been flagged in EU documents as potential illegal hate speech. Witnesses argued that Europe is facing a serious migrant crisis and that governments are responding not by addressing public concerns, but by tightening speech controls. Spain was cited as a recent example, where hundreds of thousands of migrants were legalized, followed shortly by an announcement of a major crackdown on online hate speech. According to testimony, enforcement decisions under the Digital Services Act are made by national regulators and local law enforcement, creating a system where speech standards default to the strictest countries, particularly Germany, which was described as having an unprecedented level of speech enforcement. Critics warned that unelected bureaucrats are effectively deciding what qualifies as hate speech or deceptive content. The hearing also highlighted fears that these regulations are being globalized. Social media companies like X may be forced to censor content worldwide to comply with EU rules, including posts made by Americans commenting on European issues. Witnesses warned this could lead to either global content moderation or a digital firewall, separating Europe from the rest of the world. Lawmakers compared the potential outcome to an ideological divide similar to closed information systems seen in authoritarian states, warning that Europe risks abandoning open debate in favor of censorship. The hearing concluded with a stark warning. If these policies continue, they could create a deep civilizational divide between free speech traditions in the United States and increasingly restrictive speech controls in Europe.